For everyone who knows me, this will be a complete and utter shock that I am doing anything on Facebook Live that involves cooking, because I never cook. However, during lockdown, I have done so much baking, it's ridiculous. And I've discovered a fantastic recipe for banana bread with white chocolate chips. So, let me just go through the recipe for you. Now, you need 1.5 cups of flour, which is 190 grams. You need 1 cup of sugar, which is 125 grams, 4.5 ounces. You need 2 tablespoons of soft butter, which is about 28 grams. You also need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Don't put a tablespoon in, it'll go horribly wrong. A whole cupful of white chocolate chips, or if you prefer milk chocolate, they work just as well. But I wouldn't use dark chocolate chips because it can be a bit bitter. Also, 3 super ripe bananas, but I'm using 4 because these ones, which are very ripe as you can see, they're quite small, so I'm going to use 4. And 1 egg. I will post the recipe and what the final thing looks like once we've done this. So, first of all, take your bowl, add your flour, and the great thing about this recipe is you do it all in one. So you just dump everything in, and that's what I like, because there's nothing worse than having to do a little bit of this and then a little bit of that. Bung it all in, mix it round, jobs are good in. Stick it in your loaf tray, which I've already covered with greaseproof paper. And then, easy, it's done in 5 minutes. So let's add everything. Now, what we do need to do is very quickly just soften our butter. So we'll just stick it in the microwave for 20 seconds. And we'll just soften the butter. Let's see, get that done. Alright, microwave. And just do that for about 20 seconds. And that's just so that it's easier for you to stir when you come to do it, because if it's been in the fridge all day, it'll be quite hard and you'll have to put a bit of elbow grease in. So about 20 seconds. So let me see now. It's coming up to about 20 seconds. See if it's started to go a bit soft. Yeah, that's fine. So you've got your butter, and I use unsalted butter as well. So then in that goes. Then in goes your sugar. There is quite a lot of sugar in this, and with the bananas. I would say it's probably 200 calories a slice. That's if you're doing like half an inch slice or something. So it's not the let's say it's not ideal to eat a lot of it all in one go, but for someone like me who tries her best to eat healthily all the time, I think there's nothing, if you're on a diet or you're doing something where you're always watching what you eat, life can be a bit boring. If you shouldn't give up on the things that you like in life, just do it in moderation. So what I do is, if I make one of these, I'll have a little piece, but the good thing about it is it lasts about a week, so you can ration it out. So about 200 calories. So just roughly, bung your banana in, and ignore my beeping microwave, which is beeping for some reason, I don't know. I should know because I live by microwaves. And anyone who knows me knows I am absolutely rubbish at cooking. And I have a fear of cooking, which I found out when doing a Zoom quiz with my friends the other day. There's actually a term for the fear of cooking called magiroccophobia, would you believe? But there you go. So, one more banana to put in. Here we go. Let's just bung it all in. So roughly just break up your banana. There we go. Roughly just break it up. Then we've got a whole cup worth of white chocolate chips, and like I said, you can use milk chocolate chips, or if you really like dark chocolate. The first one I ever made was with dark chocolate because it was the beginning of lockdown. I couldn't get any chocolate chips anywhere, and the only ones I had were dark chocolate, and it was alright, but it's nicer with milk or white. So in there you go. Then we add 1 large egg. Oh, and I've nearly forgot to put the baking powder in. Just 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So a level teaspoon of baking powder, and there you go. Now for the hard bit. So literally all we do now is just give this a really good mix up. Takes a few minutes to get it to the consistency, but it'll soon start to break down and you'd be amazed actually, because you look at that now, that looks quite dry, doesn't it, with all the flour in, but once I've had a go at it, it doesn't take too long for this to become quite moist, and should be able to pour it into that tin actually. So while I'm doing this, I'll just explain what temperature you do it at. So put it in a fan oven about 190 degrees. The initial recipe I used said put it in for 45 minutes, but I think depending on your oven, you may find that that's a little bit too much, and you don't want it to go, you don't want to burn the top too much. So I tend to, from 40 minutes onwards, I tend to start just checking it and get a sharp knife and just poke it and see if it comes out clean, then you know it's done. So last time I did it, it was ready in 42 minutes. So depending on your oven, anywhere between 40 and 42. See, this now is getting quite well mixed. I'll just give it a bit of elbow grease in. Just realised actually, see, this is how rubbish I am at cooking, I'm actually doing it with my spatula and not a wooden spoon. So no wonder it's causing, it's not been as easy to mix as it should be. I don't know. Anyway, right, let's get going. So that's better. I can do it now. Honestly, useless in the kitchen. Anyway, here we go. So that's much better. So it's now coming into a nice mixture. And obviously, the most important thing, test it. Oh yes, this is good. Right, that. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty well mashed there, and the banana's quite well mashed in as well. Okay, cool. So that's all mixed. Now all you need to do, plonk it in, you know, the normal size loaf tin. You don't need to grease it, just stick a bit of greaseproof paper in. Pour in your mixture. There we go. Pour in the mixture. And last time I did this, I couldn't get hold of any white chocolate chips, so I bought a bar of white cooking chocolate and broke it up. But it wasn't as good as when you put white chocolate chips in. I think that just, you know, distributes the chocolate more evenly when it's in chips. So if you can, use chips, but if you can't, white chocolate, cooking chocolate's fine. So there we go. Just get the bits off. This is what the spatula's for, not for mixing. Right, okay, let's get the rest of that off. Get all the little bits out of the bowl, and then I'm sure my 8-year-old will come in here wanting to lick the bowl, and as we all know, that's the best bit about baking, licking the bowl. So let's just get all that bit off there. That's pretty much cleaned our bowl there. So I'll just show you the inside of the tin. I'm just going to spread that out a bit more evenly. And in fact, even if you just do that, it'll help to just distribute it. And that's pretty well distributed all over now. So that's going in the oven. So I've already preheated my oven to 190. So in it goes. And I will set my timer for 42 minutes. There we go, 42 minutes. And then that should be done. Easy as that. So happy baking. Hope you enjoy it. I shall put the recipe and a picture of the finished loaf online later on. Okay, enjoy your baking.